Listener's note, warning, this show is loaded with gist so powerful, it might just push you into a relationship and straight down the aisle. If you're not ready to hear wedding bells and say yes, say yes, say yes, say yes, listen at your own risk. Edgar doesn't lie. Check Edgar out. Okay. What I'm about to say right now may just be the craziest thing you've ever heard in your life. I was researching about honesty and Nigerian men, and what I found busted my brain. Do you know that in Nigeria, a country in Africa with over 113 million men and 110 million women, do you know that there are only 27 men in Nigeria today, 27, that do not smoke, drink, womanize, or lie? Like, we are only 27. Guys, when I read it, I wanted to run mad. Just me and 26 other guys. Isn't that crazy? The worst part is that the other 26 men are aware of this number. So if you are just hearing about it now, then you are obviously not one of us. If you're a lady listening right now, and you're presently dating someone outside this number, then it means that your boyfriend or man friend is doing one of these four things. And that is very sad. It's painful. It's very painful. Funny enough, that's not even the craziest part of the gist. Now, the craziest part is that only 7 out of the 27 of us, only 7 are dating or married. The remaining 20 are single and searching, just like myself. The issue now is that 6 out of the 20 are roaming the streets as madmen. 4 are in the hospital receiving treatment and collecting drip. 8 are in the police station arrested for crimes they did not commit. And 1 is living as my tenant, a very unserious thief. So if you do the maths, it means that I am the only normal man left who does not smoke, drink, womanize, or lie. Just me. This thing is deep, guys. It's very deep. And it's very painful as well. My advice to the lady who wants a better future with a responsible man who will love you, respect you, and provide for you is to dump your present boyfriend and just date me. Date me. Even if you don't know the other 26 guys, at least you know me. Try me and you will not regret it. See, let me not lie to you guys. I will not be single forever. I will not be single forever. And the moment I date, that's the end. That is the end. So ladies, don't overthink it. If you are single, send me an email at edgar@checkedgar.com. Include your name in it and save yourself from future problems and emotional embarrassment. Date me. Date Edgar. Edgar doesn't lie. Check Edgar out. Check. This is a Check Edgar production. A Check Edgar production. This is for the single guys and the single ladies. Edgar doesn't lie. Why am I still single? Still single. Why am I still?
I want a wife and a family. This kind of life is not right for me. I told my guys how things can be. When I fall in love, I fall for real. I know you want me, don't waste my time. I want a girl that is set and fine. I'm going crazy, so please be mine. God, please, why?
Wow. First of all, I want to thank you guys for listening and sharing the podcast so far. God bless you guys. For the past 8 weeks, I've been telling stories about my relationship life from secondary school till 2019. You guys have been killing me in the comments. If you want to have a great laugh, go on Spotify or Apple Podcast and read what people are saying. It's super hilarious, guys. I checked the stats some days ago, and we have over 100,000 impressions on Spotify already. Guys, we're doing good. No video, no guest, just me talking, and you guys have made this happen.
No, wow. Some people too do. Wow.
This is the 9th episode, and as I promised, next week Friday, we are going to be celebrating together. Some giveaway items, cash prizes, and exciting news to come. Next week, I will not be sharing my story.
Oh, sorry. Don't cry.
But instead, sharing some of the amazing stories I have received from fans and friends. By the way, I call my fans and friends CheckMates. So yeah, sharing stories from CheckMates. If you would love to share your story with me, then shoot me an email at edgar@checkedgar.com. Edgar is EDGAR at CHECKEDGAR.com, not edgar@gmail.com or checkedgar@gmail.com. Alright? It's going to be super fun, guys, so make sure you do not miss it for anything. Next week is going to be big. I promise you guys. We're celebrating the 10th episode of Why Am I Still Single with Check Edgar. It is going to be amazing. I'm super pumped up for this one. Now, let's get into today's story. Yes, I have said it so many times. I am a desperate young man looking for a girlfriend to marry. But this desperate guy is not just going to date anything. Yes, this beggar has a choice. I have spec too. And there are a few red flags I can never ignore. For example, I can't date or marry a woman who is taller than me. I mean, I can't be looking up to you and you're looking down on me. That's not fair. Have you guys seen where a tall guy is kissing a short lady before? And then she has to stretch till he carries her. Like, guys, that thing is so romantic. Now, reverse it. Imagine I had to stretch and then she carries me up to help me. Wouldn't that be weird? I know you guys are laughing already. Exactly. It's weird now. Very weird. Don't get me wrong. I love tall girls. But all I am saying is that if you're taller than 5'11", then you are not for me. I also discovered that most ladies who are 6 feet tall are mostly proud and rude ladies. I don't know if it's true or not, but it is somebody that told me to go and tell somebody. I also cannot marry a lady older than me. Yes, I can date one, but I can't marry a lady older. Why? Because my conscience will not allow me call you baby without feeling somehow. Someone that was already eating golden morn by herself before they gave birth to me, you now want me to call that person baby? Haba now, haba. Today's story is about one of my many experiences with older women. In Nigeria, we call it sugar mommy. If you are hearing this for the first time, make no mistake. This has nothing to do with a woman selling sugar or a sweet woman. No. This term refers to a woman who seeks romantic or sexual relationships with significantly younger men. Some call them cougars. Some call them sugar mama. Whatever you like to call them, that is your problem. I have had 6 different experiences with women like this. 5 happened after I became famous in 2020, and 1 happened before the fame in 2019. Today, I'll tell you about the one and how she used money to change my life forever. Edgar doesn't lie. We'll be right back.
Promo.
Tired of waking up in the morning to a lonely bed? Has your pillow been giving you the silent treatment? Are you tired of rewatching old romantic movies, wondering when it would finally be your turn to fall in love while walking in the rain hand in hand with your soulmate? Well, we have absolutely nothing to solve your problem. In fact, I'm here to offer you nothing. No miracle cure, no magic potion, nothing. Not even a free t-shirt. Just the smooth, buttery sound of my voice. But if you have a business, a product, or even a secret family recipe for jollof rice that you think the world needs to know about, here is your chance. Until I get real sponsors and actual products, you will have to endure these silly ads. But you can change that. Yes, you can be the hero of this podcast by sponsoring an episode. Send me an email to edgar@checkedgar.com if you want to hear your business being advertised in the smoothest, most handsomely voiced way possible. Until then, well, brace yourself. Checkmates, this is what you get. Sometime in August 2019, I featured in this stage performance in Abuja. It was a stage play about the Nigerian gods and their affairs in the lives of men. A beautiful piece of art that projects the Nigerian tradition in its true African form. Now, I played the role of Shango. That's the Nigerian god of thunder, lightning, and justice. If you see the way I was using baritone to tension these people that day, anything I say like this, thunder will just sound. People, they shake inside the hall. Man, it was truly epic. You guys need to see me act. No, like I'm super good though. I'm actually very, very good. Okay, for example, maybe my line was, I am Shango, and no one can defeat me. I am indestructible. A modern lie, wait, even you to the feel Amavi. They feel Amavi, exactly. The play was wild and interesting. Crazy use of costume and lights and energetic choreography. The show was fun, from the story to the acting, directing, music, everything made sense. It was mad. The audience loved the performance. They were just screaming. Guys, if you have never seen a stage play happen at the theater before, trust me, you are missing big time. Not church drama, because I know that most of you now, the only stage play you have seen is when they are flogging Jesus in church.
Ella. Kabasha. Kalaka.
God, this Jesus.
That's not what I'm talking about, Sha. A proper stage play done in a theater. It is always unique. Anyway, after the final bow, the audience got the opportunity to meet the cast and crew, to interview them, take pictures, and just connect. That was when I met Madam K. While others were taking pictures, asking me for an autograph, Madam K sat and fixed her eyes on me. It was one of the other cast of the play, Chibuzo, that told me about how Madam K was looking at me. When I noticed, I composed myself, because in Abuja, you don't know who is who. The daughter of the president can just be there, and with the snap of her finger, you are blown. So I had to make sure I was doing everything right. Now, by the way, she sat like all these old women looking for young talents to grow and manage. So in my mind, I was just praying that she would see me and give me a good job offer. Not long after, Madam K walked up to me. She had this security guard behind her. She was like,
Shango, is it okay if I had a word with you?
wait, we'll be right back after a quick break.
Chapter 1. Careful what you wish for.
Once upon a time, there was a princess named Ayla who lived in a faraway kingdom called the Satisfied Land. There was a lot of sunshine in this little kingdom until exactly 4:14 p.m. each afternoon, when it would start to rain. It rained for exactly 23 seconds and then stopped. After this, a rainbow would appear over the glassy lake that engulfed the center of the country, turning it into a mirror and making the rainbow an
momentous, a tale of toil and triumph.
In my mind, I was like, I hope there's no problem. God, I beg. So I went to meet her. Good evening, ma. She said,
How are you, Shango?
I said, fine, ma. She now said,
Your voice was captivating, electrifying, amusing, and absolutely astonishing.
I said, all these different words just for me. She now said,
I really enjoyed your performance. You have a golden voice, but a small body.
I said, thank you, ma. She now said that,
I can bet my life you are not small down there.
yeah. I said, ma. She quickly responded,
Oh, please don't call me Ma. Call me Madam Catherine or Madam K, all right?
I said, okay. She did not stop there. She continued.
What are you doing for the evening?
I told her I wasn't sure. I had to speak with my director first because we had to repeat the show the next day. She now said,
Oh, that's all right. You're such a handsome young man, I must say. how long are you going to be in Abuja for?
I told her 7 days. She was like,
brilliant. Guess I'll be having 7 amazing days, right?
I did not say anything. Now, let me explain something to you guys. This Madam K was not a young person, no. If I were to guess her age, maybe 48, 49, thereabout. I was already even getting upset and disgusted by her questions and attitude because I thought she was going to talk about business or a show or something. So I tried to end the conversation because I noticed it wasn't leading anywhere. So I said, Madam K, thank you so much for coming to see the play. It's been running for the next 5 days. If you can help me tell your friends, please help me tell them. I would really appreciate that. Have a good night, ma. I was just about to walk away when she now said,
sorry, Shango, so sorry. Forgive my manners. Is it okay if I give you a little something for the great performance you had?
I said, something like what? She said,
can you please call your account number?
Ha, account number. I said, okay. I called it sharp 06 378 32840 GTB. Before I could say Jack Robinson, this woman sent me 500k. That's 500,000 naira. I wanted to run mad. Like, guys, this was in 2019. Do you know that the total money the theatre company agreed to pay me for 10 shows was just 200,000 naira? Like, this woman paid me for my show and doubled it and still even gave me extra on top. I was smiling like a fool. The moment I looked up at her, I realized that she wasn't as old as I imagined earlier. She looked very young, like she was in her early 30s. You know those young, fine madam like that. Young, fine lady. She now said,
I hope that will cover your feeding for the night, Shango.
500k for one night. Even if I ordered a full whale, the one that swallowed Jonah, I don't think it will cost me 500k. I told her it would be more than enough. She smiled and asked me for my real name. I said, Edgar Eriakha. She now said,
for real? Your real name is Edgar?
I said yes.
Your parents named you Edgar?
I said yes. She now said,
wow, that's such an amazing name. You know what? Call your account number again and let me give you something for mommy.
At that point I was confused. Because of my name, I just humbled myself and called it again. I said, 06 378 32840 GTB. She sent an additional 200k. You know how they say a good name is better than silver and gold? Exactly. I never knew my name would give me money in my life. I wanted to tell her my brother's name is Eldred. Maybe she would give me small money on top. For those of you wondering if I ever gave my mom the money, well, all the money she has been helping me to keep since I was a child, let me say for you, let me help you keep it. This was my way of collecting it back. Anyway, I asked if she was going to see the play tomorrow, and she said that she wasn't sure because she would be traveling, and I felt very bad. My greatest fan is not coming to see my show tomorrow. See, pay me die. We walked to her car, and then she gave me her card and told me to call her if I was free for the evening. When I got back to my hotel room, I told my roommates about what happened. They were mad and offended at me. Chibus were just shouting,
Guy, na grace be that. You for follow na grace, guy.
The other guy, I don't even remember that one's name. That one too was shouting, Guy, I beg, no lose this opportunity, yo. This woman love you. Guy, they chop am, claim out, chop am. I don't know why God keeps giving me mad people as friends and roommates. Around 9 p.m. that day, I called her to let her know that I was grateful and I was resting at my hotel for the evening. She asked me if I was free to come out. I said yes. She told me she was going to call me back. 10 minutes later, she called me and told me she wanted us to have drinks somewhere around town.
Do you drink?
I told her I don't drink. She now said,
do you smoke?
I told her I don't smoke. She now said I should still come, that she wanted to know me some more and that she had a job for me. Now, I was going to cancel But when she said she had a job, my spirit just said, go. So I asked her for the address and then she sent it to me. Immediately, I shared the location with 4 different people just in case anything happened. When I got to the venue, it was one bar like that. She wasn't there at the time, but she told me to order whatever I wanted that she was going to pay when she got there. Quick, I ordered pepper soup and yam. When she came, she looked very different. She was wearing a very short black gown. In my mind, I was like, isn't this too short for a 30-something-year-old woman? But again, what do I know about fashion? I came here for business. She apologized for coming late. This time, she was alone, no security guard. She ordered something and we started gisting. We talked about my name, my career, my family. Now, she didn't tell me a lot about herself. When I asked her for her full name, she just laughed and ignored the question. When I asked her any question about herself, she would just laugh and say,
Your voice is turning my head upside down, young man.
The next thing she did got me worried. As we were eating and gisting, she said that she noticed that there was a soup stain on my mouth. Before I could say a word, she used her finger to clean it from my lips and licked her finger right after. I was confused. Hope this woman is not a demon, Sha. I know some of you will say, oh, that's sexy. It's not sexy anything. It was disgusting. But I just kept my cool. I came here for a job. The next thing that got to me was when I started feeling something on my lap under the table. At first, I thought, maybe it was my phone in my pocket that was just vibrating. When I checked, I noticed it was her hand massaging my lap. She didn't remove her hand though, or even act like it was a mistake. Instead, she kept rubbing my thigh. My head started paining me. Then she deliberately fell her bag towards me. When I tried to pick it up, she opened her legs wide, and the things my eyes saw under that table, I cannot even say it on this podcast. Immediately, I raised my head up and looked her in the eyes. Madam K, she now said,
Yes, Shango. I hope there is no problem. Or am I playing with thunder?
I did not want to be rude. So I just smiled and told her I was going to the restroom. Again, I came here for a job. In the restroom, I started thinking about my life. This woman wanted something more from me. It was clear that she wanted to have sex or do something nasty. But she's 30-something now, and I was still a child in my early 20s. I made up my mind I was going to talk about the business that brought me. This nonsense had to stop. If she is not giving me a job, I will just walk away. When I got back, she was just sitting and smiling at me. I went straight to the business conversation. I asked about the business she had for me. She smiled and told me to relax, that she was getting there. She said that she was big on stage plays and that she wanted a show where I played different characters and told different stories for an hour. That the play was going to be a one-man show, just me doing the acting. I was confused. A one-man show like how? She said if I agreed, she would give me more details about the show. I was trying to explain to her that I needed to understand the show better before I could accept such a job. Before I finished my explanation, I received another alert. This time, it was 1 million naira. But guys, that wasn't even the craziest part. The remark wrote, initial payment for the one-man show. Guys, it was mad. I don't know if you have ever been in a situation where you receive money in your account and then your phone immediately begins to freeze. Like your apps just hang all of a sudden and everything stops working. At that time in 2019, I had never received 1 million naira once before. Maybe 250k 4 times, but once, never. Immediately I became scared. I started sweating. I told her that the money was too much and that I had not even agreed to do the show, that I needed more time to think. She now said that the money was for me to go and think about it and get back to her. Let me not lie. 1 million naira to think? How much is my brain? 1 million naira to think? God punish poverty. We talked for a bit and then she left. As she was leaving, she asked if she could hug me, and I agreed. That was when I realized her gown wasn't as short or as bad as I thought. Also, she wasn't looking 30-something. She looked way younger, like she was 18, 19, 20. She looked younger than me. It was at that moment I now realized that, wait too, it's like I'm actually liking this babe. And I think the babe was liking me too. I got to the hotel around 1 a.m. the next morning. I didn't sleep at all. I was just thinking about everything. First, I was thinking about how beautiful she looked. From her hair, her eyes, her lips, everything about my baby was just gorgeous. Then I started thinking about the money I received. Before I came to Abuja, I had 70k in my account. Now I have over 1.5 million naira just because someone liked my performance and my name. I did not know if I should thank God or I should just thank Shango. I was just lying on my bed thinking about the one-man performance for my baby. We had the show again that afternoon around 2 p.m. the next day. During the show, I remember that Chibuzo and his friend were overdoing it, so that day too they would go and find their own Madam K. I was just laughing backstage. That morning, I didn't perform Shango. I had a double cast who was equally a brilliant actor. After the show, we took pictures and had some interviews. I looked at the crowd and I didn't see Madam K. It was when I was about to leave and I saw her security guard. He brought lunch for me and told me that Madam K was coming in the evening to see my performance again. I was excited, so I collected the food and gave it to Chibuzo and his friend. Later that evening, we had the show again. Now, most times, the people in the hall are way more in the evening than in the day. I was performing that night, and as usual, I killed the performance again. Everybody kept screaming my name. Shango, 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 Shango. The sound guy too was just putting thunder effect everywhere. Anyway, I was resting backstage when the assistant director told me that my mom was around and she wanted to see me. My mom? What is my mom doing in Abuja? So I went to check and guess who the goat was calling my mom? Madam K. I guess the guy was blind and didn't see the 19-year-old lady properly. My babe is who you are calling my mother. Are you mad? Anyway, I met Madam K and we walked to her car. She told me she came with 4 of her friends and they all loved my performance. I just nodded in appreciation. She asked if I liked the lunch she sent and if I wanted to have dinner with her. I told her I had overnight rehearsals and I wouldn't be able to make it. She wasn't happy. She now asked if I had decided to do the one-man show for her. I told her I was still thinking about it and I had to tell my director before doing something like that. She begged me not to tell my director, that she wanted it to just be between us. When I asked her how many people will be seeing this play, like what's the size of the audience, she said she wanted a private show, that it was just going to be her. Eh? I was confused. One-man play and one-man audience? What's going on? I told her I was going to give her my answer that night, that I would call her when I get back to the hotel. She was so excited. She hugged me and then she left. When I got to my hotel room later that night, I thought about it for a while. Some crazy thoughts just ran through my mind. What if it is a setup and she's planning to sleep with me? What if she wants to use me for money ritual? That would fail woefully because how much is my destiny? But what if she planned to tie me down and sell my organs for money? Or use me for something evil? My head was just everywhere. Just when I was about to send a message to her and tell her I was not interested, I now remembered that she paid me 1 million naira just to think about it. What if she gives me 2 million naira for saying yes? Who knows? 10 million naira for performing? Do you know what I can do with 10 million naira? Hey guys, I'll first use 1 million naira to buy beans. After all, we're all human beings. Then I'll use 1 million naira to buy rice. Because we rise by lifting others. So more. I was just thinking anyhow that evening. I later made up my mind on what I was going to do. So I called her. Yeah, hello, good evening, Madam K, good evening.
My Shongo, how was your rehearsal?
Oh, it was brilliant. Very, very good. We thank God.
Okay, that's good. So have you decided yet?
Yes, I have.
Great. So I'm seeing a show soon.
Yes, you will. I will do the show, but you must tell me where the show will happen and allow me to come to the venue with someone for my own safety at least.
Shongo, are you scared? Nothing will happen to you, my dear. But if you insist, that's fine. I'll send you the address. When will you be free?
I told her I was going to be free the next day, that my double cast was performing that day. She was so excited. Then she asked me some other questions. Now, due to how vulgar her questions were, I have deliberately omitted some of the questions and modified one, just so we are clear. I don't want you guys to overthink this thing, all right? Her first question was,
Shongo, have you had sex before?
I was lost because I did not even know how we got there. I replied, is there a problem? She said, no, not at all, not at all. That she just wanted to know. I was quiet. Then she asked another question. She said,
do you like older women?
I told her my mom was older than me, and I liked my mom. She started laughing. She was like,
that's why I love you. You're too clever.
She now asked me,
how big is your banana?
By the way, she didn't use the word banana. Again, I am just modifying the question. I was like, Madam K, with all due respect, I don't think this has anything to do with the show. She now asked me some other questions that I cannot even say because I'm trying not to be vulgar. But I gave professional answers all through. Now, she was just getting upset because I was making it very difficult. Very, very difficult. She now said,
Edgar, if you think that I want to sleep with you, then you're totally mistaken. I only like your skill and was trying to play with you. Don't ever raise your voice at me again. See you tomorrow. Good night.
She ended the call. I was confused, like, when did I even raise my voice? That night, she sent me the address and then added that the time for the show was 5 p.m. I told my director I was going into town to see my relatives and would be back later in the evening. I planned to go there with Austin, one of my friends like that for some reason. Now, Austin was not available, so I had no other choice than to go with Chibuzo. When we got to the address, it was a house, a duplex somewhere in Maitama. This house looks like an abandoned building. You know all those big houses where no one stays in? Exactly. Her security guard just walked us in. In my mind, I was just saying, blood of Jesus, blood of Jesus, blood of Jesus, blood of Jesus. They asked if we were hungry. I said no. Chibuzo said yes. They gave him rice and a big turkey to eat. I was just busy looking around and praying for mercy in my mind. God, I beg, blood of Jesus, blood of Jesus. Then Madam K now walked down the stairs and asked me to follow her. Chibuzo was still eating his meal. I was cutting eye for Chibuzo to follow us. I was cutting eye. Chibuzo did not even look at me. She took me to a big room, locked the door, and started playing soft music. I was confused. Then she sat on the chair and told me she would call out some things and ask me to perform the first thing that came to my mind. I was like, okay. She started calling out things like,
can you act like a fish in water? Can you act like a gorilla? Can you act like a warrior? Warrior at battle. Can you act like a police officer asking for bribe? Oh my God. Can you act like a newscaster? Giving like the headlines, yes. Can you act like a lawyer? Can you act like a judge? Can you act like a male stripper?
See a grown-up guy like me acting like a fish. Something fishy was going on. Guys, it wasn't random. She had a book of different characters. After performing for almost an hour, she told me to stop, that she was satisfied. She got her phone and sent me 500k and mentioned that I did a very good job. I was like, thank you, Madam K. Can I go? She said, no. I was confused. She said she wanted to beg me for something. I was like, okay. That was how she started crying. That ever since she saw the play, she liked me. That she just wanted me. That she has been trying to tell her body to calm down, but her body has been begging for me. That she's willing to do anything I want to just have me. She said that my voice just gets her sexually active every time. This woman started begging me to date her. That she likes me and that she's willing to even be giving me a weekly allowance of 500,000 naira every week if I agree to be her man. In my mind, I felt trapped because the door was locked. I was thinking, how would I escape before she turned my story into that of Joseph? I begged her that I wasn't interested and that I was going to return all the money she sent if she wanted it back. The next thing she said killed me. She said that ever since she got married, she has never been sexually satisfied. I was shocked. Ma, so you're even married? Immediately, her age jumped from 18 to early 30s. She now said she even has 2 kids. Immediately, her age jumped back to 45. I begged her. I told her I wasn't that kind of guy. That everything I do or say is just acting and nothing more. I had no powers like that of Shongo. I started crying. I was begging this woman, please, just open the door, let me go. Open the door, let me go. She too, she was crying, please. I should lie down, please, I should lie down. Just before she could touch me, Chibuzo just knocked the door.
What's going on there? Edgar, what's going on there?
Long story short, nothing happened that day. She later opened the door and begged me not to say a word to anyone. I promised to keep it a secret. Well, until today. When Chibuzo asked me if anything happened, I told him nothing. He didn't believe me, but we just moved past it. I didn't see Madam K until the last day of the show. But this time, she wasn't even looking at me. She was looking at another cast. My double casts. The guy who played Shongo. After the show, I saw them talking. I was just shaking my head. I don't know if she had a thing for me or if she just liked the character Shongo. My own is that I enjoyed the 2 million naira she sent without doing anything silly except acting like a fish swimming in a river. I know a lot of celebrities who would jump on this opportunity and spread their legs for every naira they can get, but it can never be me. Like I said, I'm a desperate young man, but this beggar has a choice. So why am I still single? Well, that's simple. I wasn't going to date a 40-something-year-old married woman for money. No way. Sure, 2 million naira is huge, and 500 weekly payments is massive. But my destiny and pride? Nah. Far greater than that. As they say, all that glitters isn't gold. Sometimes it's just someone else's wife with an expensive purse. And that's the end of this week's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, then don't forget to subscribe and share the podcast with those who are single, dating, or married. And yes, you can donate to support the podcast. $3 will go a long way. If you have a story to share about sugar mummies, please send it to me through my email, edgar@checkedgar.com, or for a quicker response, chat me with the chat box on my website, www.checkedgar.com. I'll respond in 3 hours. I promise. Edgar doesn't lie. Now, don't forget that we're having a party. Don't forget that we're having a party next week, Friday. All right. It's the 10th episode of Why Am I Still Single, and we're going to be celebrating big. So make sure that you listen to all the other episodes before next week, Friday, because I'll be asking questions, and those that get it correctly get the prize. All right. So make sure you listen to all the other episodes before the 10th episode next week, Friday. It would really help. All right. It's going to be a party, guys. So make sure you turn up, get ready to have a great time, checkmates, because Edgar doesn't lie. Now, remember that this podcast ends the day I get married. So don't forget to tell that your beautiful friend that Edgar is single and he would love to go on a date with her. If that lady is you, send me a message to my email address at edgar@checkedgar.com. Edgar doesn't lie, guys. Let's get ready to party next week, Friday. See you guys next week, Friday. Check Edgar out.